Welcome to ATB TV. I'm Darren Dance with Peter Morganti on this Friday afternoon. I just can't believe how quickly these weeks are rolling around. Can't believe it's Friday again. Pete, it seems like we're only here 10 minutes ago.
And go on the big jacket, Darren.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take it off you in a minute.
Weather's not improving one little bit.
I'm going to steal it off you, Pete. Must say I went down to Cardinia Park last night, Pete. Hadn't been to the footy night match for about 3 years and just remembered why it was that cold. My boots are still cold.
Melbourne are feeling a bit cold too. Geelong gave them a touch-up.
Terrific game, terrific night out down there at Geelong with Colin Sandy.
Yep.
They got the best seats, Pete.
Right on the wing.
Yeah, 4 rows back.
I did have the pleasure of sitting there. Well, not the pleasure, because Carlton lost by about 120 points.
Well, those days are gone.
I reckon for the second half, where the boys were in the bar.
Well, anyone that was drinking last night in the bar has got rocks in there.
Yeah,
I felt like tipping tea and coffee down my socks.
We were watching in the comforts of home and I thought, geez, how cold would it be there?
Gee, it was cold. Anyway, it was a good win by the Cats and it was a good night out. So it's something we don't do very often. With foaling season coming up in a month, we'll certainly be grounded after 5:30 every night for the next 3 months. And on the old... I'll be going dry August, September, October.
Dry?
Can't have a drink, Pete. Might have to file one down or get in the truck.
Dry July now too?
No, they can jam dry July. Mind you, it's that cold. Who wants a drink? But,
exactly.
Oh, couldn't think of nothing worse. Sorry to the Royal Meredith Hotel. We won't be having a drink. They'd be freezing. They've just come back from Queensland.
I was just going to say, are they home? They are home.
They'd be home and broke.
It'd be a Friday night, all the locals would be back and roaring.
They'd know, Damo and Claire would know how we feel now. They had to pay for their drinks for the last 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. They're not cheap, are they?
Nothing's cheap.
You get the first one for free at the Royal Meredith though.
Do you?
Well, you used to. Didn't you have to wear a cap or something? I don't know.
Anyway, let's go through.
Well, we had a good week.
We did have a good week. We had a great day on Saturday.
It's good to see an old warrior back in the winner's stall at his favourite track course distance. I think it's 4 down the straight now for him. Serious suspect. He, as I say, the planets aligned. He still had to get the job done. It was a lovely ride by young Ethan Brown. I must admit, I watched it from home. I kept lining up the lines, and I'm thinking they're a mile behind on the inside.
They were, weren't they?
And they were a good 2 or 3 lengths behind. But I honestly reckon that the horse loves. He had a nice bunny in Sava Extol to chase. Can't say that horse's name. But you could tell at the 400 he had his measure. And then Ethan was allowed to, he just rolled him along. I think he veered out a little bit late. But yeah, he put him away by a length and well-deserved win. Takes his prize money up around, is it high 700s or low?
737.
It's a bloody good effort for a, well, homebred wanted gelding that's probably listed off-season levels his go. But geez, you know, this whole prep, he's been hoof on the till, and there's been one of the little things haven't gone his way, but I don't know, he put him to the sword, Sunday.
It was a great day, and I've never seen so many happy owners.
There was a lot there too.
There was a big crowd, and look, full credit goes to Ethan Brown. He listened and walked the track with Saab, and Peter Ellis was there, and they were adamant the inside was better.
Yeah.
They were adamant that it was from the rail to about 5 out.
Yeah. The
middle was no good, which explains why a lot of the horses came to the outside.
They went straight over, didn't they?
And I was glad to see the favourite go to the outside, and I'm thinking, Peter Ellis, you'd better be bloody right here. You'd better be right, mate, because if that inside's no good, we're dead in the water. And he was spot on. So credit to Peter Ellis for that, and Saab and Ethan for walking the track and sorting out a plan and executing it perfectly. But it was just so... I know Saab was very quiet in the winner's room. I didn't know that room was there, Pete. I hadn't been in that room for a long time. But
for COVID anyway.
It's a new room.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a new room. It's where we had the All-Star Mold.
Oh, yeah.
So that's now the winner's room.
Right on the...
Because the trainers got their room. The trainers got their own room now, next to the... you know, where the winner's room used to be at Flemington. That's the trainer's room, because they want to be there, and they wanted frosted glass so they could hide. They want to be with their clients. Something wrong with these trainers, I reckon.
It's a bit like being a Prime Minister.
They didn't want to. They don't want to mingle. They want to have their own room.
Jeez.
one day they'll have their own room and they'll have no owners if they don't wake up to themselves. These blokes. There was, and I must say, in that other room where all the owners go for the day, I did notice 3 or 4 trainers spending their day in there with their clients, not hiding in the training.
Well, they're on the ball.
They're the ones that will have all the clients one day.
There's a
I don't like it.
component of racing that feeds the trainers, and it's called an owner.
I don't know why they want to hide from their clients. There's something wrong with trainers. Something wrong with them. They're a different breed.
Well,
but we had a great day.
I'm sure Sabi would have been in with the owners.
Of course he was. Look, we had a great day, and it was great to be there and part of it, and to see so many smiling, happy faces, a few tears.
Yep.
And the horse excelled. I was just so pleased for him that he was able to get one, because he's been knocking on the door all prep. As you said, he's won 180 grand this prep and won 1 race, but he's been thereabouts every run. I was pleased for Saab. It meant a lot to him. He was just so quiet and relieved, and you know, I think at this stage when you got a rising 8-year-old gelding, it's not about the money. It's just about the experience of winning and the celebration afterwards. And
very important point you made too. He loving the farm, the horse.
Well, we could never have done this. And later on, at the end of this, we've got. I did do an interview with Saab yesterday, and you can have a listen to what he has to say about training out of that farm.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was that, and then we got kicked out of that room, Pete, and back into the cold for an hour.
Pretty, and I did think at the 200 that it might have been back in that room, not knowing you're in it, with Literary Magnet. Got out off, look, I don't think Dean could have rode her any better.
No.
Just wasn't good enough. The two boys sort of broke away, but she held the rest of okay. That's been her all prep, honest, consistent. She had the luck, but just two were better than her. She ran honest again.
She ran super. Look, I think personally the boys were stronger. Yeah. And I think those 2 horses are pretty good horses. Yeah. Philip Stokes said he can win a Group 1 with his in the spring. So.
And the other one has been absolutely unlucky. I think it was on a 7-day backup too.
So we're the first filly home.
Yep.
She's going to have a little rest now, and he's going to line her up later in the spring. But look, I thought she ran brave. I've still got a little query about whether she's a genuine 1600 metre horse. Yeah. Suggested to Matthew that maybe he runs the DNA report on her to find out what the genetics say. But, you know, I think you might see her back to 14 where she can just hit the line hard. But, you know, she's honest and she's good enough, and there's more wins for her. Oh,
the city wins, you know. Yeah, it's an interesting one, because I know he did put it to Dean Holland, could she get further, and he said ridden really quietly. But then I'm more with you that pace on 1400 big track.
We saw the turn of foot. Yeah. So nothing. If that had been a fillies race, she wins.
Yeah. No, all good. Not so good the next day.
Shocker! Brought back to earth real quick, Pete.
But the jumps day.
There was only one good thing about Sunday. It was my nephew's birthday, and I didn't drive to Warrnambool to watch that.
Yeah, you started away.
I stayed in Ballarat. Shocker.
It was the jumps day, and they had a couple of high weight flat races, and Shine and Danny was obviously in one of those, and I think he was 5 wide the trip, maybe 4 wide. Provided a shield and a cart for the winner, who come off our back or inside us, and that's about all he did in the race. I think he beat 28.
5 wide the trip, heavy 10, carrying 70 kilos, runs last by, what'd you say, 28?
Well, it was 14 lengths to the second last horse, and then
I really admire Andrew Bobbin, like, on race day, very diplomatic, just interviews the rider, leaves it at that, then about 2 days later sends out a report to the owners, gives it the rider an absolute pasting, says to him, what did he say? Well, you can do that at the Curragh, but you can't do that in Australia. Gave him no hope. Anyway,
almost like he was looking for some jumps.
Anyway, so we're going to send him around over the hurdles.
Yeah, he's got his ticket, so why not?
He's qualified, so we can put him in the paddock and let him freeze like we are, or we can keep him in that nice warm stable or whatever he's living in, rugged up, and send him over the up and overs and have a look at him and see then what we want to do with him in the future.
Fitness levels are there. He's had 2 hurdle trials. Why not?
Why not send him around? Yep. And, he's a good jumper.
Caston and Coleraines or Pakenham.
I hope he goes to Caston. I don't know if they're going to Pakenham. I'm not driving to Pakenham.
No,
I'd go to Caston, even though it's further, but I love Caston.
Yeah, well, and for the owners, if they ever want to go and see that track and you got one running, well, maybe to go, because you can watch it off the elevated banks of, elevated viewing bank what's Rick say? As they go down to where the two rivers meet, the Wannon and the Glenelg. But yeah, it's spectacular.
In a hurdle, do they actually go over the live edges? Or not? No, that's the steeple.
They've actually got portable jumps.
Oh,
yeah.
anyway.
But they're still there.
There'll be a steeple on that day.
Yes.
Anyway, he'll make his call whether he goes to Pakenham or Casterman. But
yep.
Either way, it's going to be freezing.
So that was it. They were our 3 runners. So
Sirius, thank
really
God
good
for you.
winner. And
so Sirius now, we might as well mention he'll probably go to the Ori Star in 3-ish weeks.
Yep.
And we've just got to make sure that other horse, Saab TXL's in there to get the 6 kilo weight relief, so we've got a chance.
Yeah, well, it's a fine
54 is his, that's what he wins at.
And the
history says.
And you know, the ones that were on 54 were relative to him badly weighted.
They were all badly weighted.
He's been around the block a few times against good horses, and that experience counts. When you got 57 with the 54s, that can get you just because of a lot of weight.
Well, that's why we haven't won 5 out of 5 this trip, because we've been beaten by horses that have been weighted to beat us.
And, you know,
we haven't run badly.
We've been 98 down. Well, it took us ages to get to 93. I said we're back to 97 rating now.
Are we?
Yeah, but you know, you've got to get a handicap when you win. But
I'm happy to have a horse rated like that.
I think too, you go to the Ori Star. A lot of those
They'll be
first up.
We
have to be rock hard fit. You know, all right, the ability will be where some of them, but you generally see a mixture of middle distance types.
Did we win that race one year with Uxorius, or did we get beat? I can't quite remember. I know we've contested that race a few times over the years. But
we might have run it twice.
Yeah, no, we have
contested.
He had a
good record of Flemington.
No, we have contested that race a few times. Anyway, we're nearly back into the spring. We might even get a day where it's over 12 degrees.
No rain.
Righto, let's go. What are we doing this week? We're having a quiet week.
We're looking like probably an Irishman on Sandown on Wednesday.
Yep.
So I presume you'll kick him out to 14 or a mile.
16. And he's going to claim.
And probably roll
forward. He couldn't lead the other day. He was brave and just the last 200. That was it.
Just too much pressure for him. Because I think Moddy said he's the type of horse, if he can. Well, we've seen it when he's won. Bowl, young Poi, who rode him. And he got the laps right that day. He didn't miscount him. He's just back. You got to get him into a nice rhythm. Yeah. So anyway, that'll be. He did run poorly the other day. It was
He's just knocked up and he couldn't dominate. But if he can go there, claim a couple, roll along, and not pull, you'll give him a shake.
So that's it.
That's the only
But we can forecast to the following weekend a bit.
Yeah. Let's talk about the following Saturday.
So Maddie Williams will have Sea Princess in that fillies and mares race. I think it's a 62.
So she's going to Adelaide.
Yes.
For a Morfordville 62.
Without knowing the fields or the barriers or who rides, you're not going to get a better chance to win some sort of city race.
This is her chance.
Yep. We know she loves the wet.
And one of her owners lives over there, Sam Wagner, and guess what? He's been nagging me to get an Adelaide all prep, and guess what he's done?
Gone away.
He's moved to Brisbane to live. Well, I'm not going up there, Sam.
Jesus. We wouldn't get a run up the bloody East Coast. We'd be lucky to get anything running around. So that's her, which look forward to that. And you were saying Stokesy, unassailable.
She'll run the same day.
Going nicely.
1,000-metre race over there.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with her.
So he's obviously looked through the calendar and seen nothing in Victoria and thought, right, over the border.
We're trying to win a city race, so we're going to send to the stud.
And if there's any trader that knows South Australian racing,
interesting feat. Most horses go the Thursday before the Saturday, but she's actually gone over 10 days out. He's got a theory that they do need that week.
Yep.
So it's worked for him.
Well, the bonus for him is he's got his own yards, isn't it?
Yep.
So, and the other one is Southern France back down here. Is it for the Flemington Cup or something?
Yes. Saturday week. He's planning to come down for the 2800. He missed the run last Saturday up at the Sunshine Coast due to the state of the track. He was nommed for Grafton on Thursday, but look, it's going to be really heavy and wet. I don't know whether that meeting will even go ahead, but he is nominated to come down to Flemington for that Flemington Cup, but he's missed that run, so Matthew Smith will have to work his magic there.
And just another one, I don't know. Crackerjack Prince on the Sunday, be right over a mile?
Yes, he's going to Bendigo on the Sunday.
Is that weekend?
Yeah, it's not this weekend. He's not.
No, it's not
bronze.
this. No, but it has to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he'll be on the following Sunday. So
Yeah.
we'll have probably
Yeah.
4 runners
It could-
that weekend.
I don't know if there's any others.
Can't think of any others that are going to pop up. But yeah, that's where we're at.
So it all hinges on an Irishman.
An Irishman and Pat Ryan. Do your stuff.
Pat needs a winner. Can't Pat lift?
He's running a few seconds.
He's had a few for us.
Pat Ryan the second, we call him.
Pat Ryan the second.
Anyway, and now we're going to cross to an interview that we did with Saab Hasan at the farm yesterday, where he came down for a free lunch.
He interviewed out Sabi. I listened
Well-
to him on Tuesday. This is your life with
We were
Gareth
very,
Hall.
very lucky to get him with his media commitments.
Yeah.
And it was difficult to ask him questions that he hadn't previously been asked.
It wasn't a cashy, was it? He wasn't asking for a coin.
He just wanted to feed.
Sabs, it was good actually. I had to laugh. Gareth asked you about the pepper spray incident,
Yes.
and
I can't talk about
he
it.
goes, Gareth, I've signed something that I can't talk about it. For the next 10 minutes he talked about it.
I was thinking, I thought exactly the same. Shut up, son. You're going to jail.
He mostly just gave out everything. He didn't need to know anymore. I said, oh, the copper got it wrong. I said, oh, right, Sam, you might be going back to court.
Yeah, that was quite funny.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's on the podcast if you
won't
didn't hear it.
find a more passionate man in a lot of ways, Saab, and you can't never begrudge him any win he has.
No, like, you think about this. So, he lives at Taboo,
Yep.
near Nagambie. He takes the horse to Flemington and races it.
Yep.
Then he puts it on the truck and he goes back to Nagambie and he feeds up.
Yeah.
Then he gets up at 4 a.m. Sunday, feeds up, takes 2 to Pakenham,
Yep.
which would have to be a 4-hour drive. Then he drives back and he feeds up. Then he gets up and he leaves to go to Cranbourne Trials Monday morning. He got up at 3 a.m.
I know.
3 a.m. Anyway, I said, do you want to come down and have a look at these horses that a client's got there he wants to sell? He goes, yeah, I'll come down. I said, you sure? You must be tired. He goes, oh, it'll be like a holiday. I'll have the afternoon off. It'll be like a holiday.
I had to laugh on the
And
Saturday.
he even had a shave.
I noticed that.
He had a shave.
I noticed that with a photo with the mileage in. I had to laugh as he said, oh, I'm a bit busy over the next few days. I'll do a post-race. Give me time to think about it on the Tuesday. Well, now I know why. You've been on the road.
It's a ridiculous schedule.
Yeah, I had...
And he turns over yesterday, his eyes are as black as black. He's got a migraine. He drank 3 coffees, double strength. I gave him some Nurofen. I don't think he knew where he was.
He must get home occasionally to his partner Zoe, because I see they're expecting again.
Yeah, I'll leave that one alone.
So anyway, good luck, guys.
No, it's good. He's good fun to have around, Saab.
Yeah.
He's always upbeat. He's always, he's always just good fun. And, a lot of the trainers got no personality, Pete. Want to sit in their ivory tower at Flemington behind the glass.
It's a bit like footy now too, It's all stock standard, same lines. They all go to the same school and they don't give you nothing.
Nothing.
Someone asked someone today about his so-and-so play, and I think it was a Collingwood bloke, and he gave out something like to say, team's out later, or I'm not too sure, but he should be right. And the bloke goes, in other words, he's not playing. It's all stock standard. You need people with personalities. I don't know what you think about. It's like the tennis player, Kyrgios, obviously a bit of a dick, but he had some colour.
Well, he gets people watching it.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what he's going to do. And now I see he's in the final. Because the other bloke's pulled out injured.
Poor old Rafa Nadal's injured. I say poor old.
It'd be amazing if he wins this Wimbledon thing with what's going on.
Yeah.
It's all happening, Pete.
Yeah.
We got Kyrgios in the final. We got Boris Johnson's resigned. We got Albanese going to tell Putin what he thinks of him.
Geez.
It's all going on, mate.
We're going to have rocket launches coming our way, I think.
Righto. Well, I'm getting in the car and going.
Got colder since
Have a
we
look at
started.
this with Saab. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a great weekend. From Darren and Pete, enjoy. G'day everyone, I'm here at Manningtree Park with Saab Hasan's clean-shaven younger brother. How are you?
Good, Darren, good.
Hard to recognise him after Saturday.
I finally had a cup of tea and a Milo and had a shave, Darren.
How long did that take?
A shave took longer than a cup of tea and the Milo.
Mate, big congratulations for Saturday. I think you done a wonderful job as serious suspect. It must have been very satisfying.
Very satisfying, Darren. It was great to get him over the line for ATB and the owners involved. They've been really loyal to us, and and plenty of them have, you know, emailed and texted with their gratitude. So that means a lot to us. And yeah, look, I think the horse winning gave me a lot of personal satisfaction. Being trained at Tabilk was hard, as you know. I know you backed us, and you kept saying, just keep going. You know, don't worry if that's what you believe. That's the right thing. And I think it was just a huge relief for me just to know that we can do it at Tabilk.
In the winners' room at Flemington after the race, I didn't even know that room was there, so it's been that long since we had a winner at Flemington, but you looked like a man who was, you weren't jumping around and yelling and screaming, you were just standing there with a bit of a smirk. You looked very, very satisfied. I
was just probably absorbing the atmosphere, watching everybody, watching the smiles on their faces. You know, there's people there that have had, you know, dramas, or they're sick or whatever, and you know, there's people that are, you know, going through war and famine and God knows what sort of stuff, and it was great just to see everyone smile and happy and sharing that joyful occasion. And I think for me, I was just sinking in all the atmosphere and the fact that I felt like we climbed, you know, Mount Kosciuszko, and we got to the top, and it was just time for me just to sort of just chill out and take a breath and just probably enjoy everyone's warmth and their goodness.
Now, you've done a lot of media this week. I think you spent over an hour on RSN, and Gareth Hall probably asked you all these questions, so I'm trying to think of some different questions to ask you, because everyone's just sick of you being on the media. You've had more hours on TV than Tracy Grimshaw this week.
Well, thanks, Darren. But I think like you and I spoken behind the cameras, and you asked me, you know, what's your plan in the next 12 months going forward, because you've always been, you know, inspirational to our stable. And I think one of the things that we've done last year, you and I, was I looked at all your stock, and the ones I could afford, and the ones that I did like, I went out and purchased. Most of them we syndicated. Some of them that we bought last year we still haven't syndicated, so if anyone wants to hop on board and help us out there, great. They don't have to take a huge percentage, form a syndicate, 1%, 2%, whatever, even all that will help.
Well, you got a nice rich enough filly there out of one of our good mares. She's Our Star, broken in. She's Our Star's a full-sistered Amish boy. Group 2 winner, probably wins a Group 1 in the spring. That filly and that family's all been 2-year-olds, and I think you stole it off me for about 80 grand. So I'm assuming the shares are only around the 5 grand broken in.
Yeah. I think they're even a little bit cheaper. So anyone wants to ring me 1300 Race Stable, they'll get me direct, or 0424 160 986 for those who don't understand the 1300 Race Stable.
Now this is a paid political announcement, but I want to ask you about the horse. I love that horse. Like an 8-year-old, rising 8-year-old, plenty of starts, won 737,000 in prize money. He's such a lovely beast of an animal, and what I love about him is he's just so consistent, and he loves being a racehorse. What do you think when you talk about Serious Suspect? What words come to your mind?
Oh, just his tenacity, his will, and his never die attitude. He'll always run a good race, no matter what, whether that's 5th, 6th, whether his hock's hurting or his back's hurting or something's not right. He'll still run his honest, usual race. He won't dog it. Okay, at Ballarat, I think before he went for a spell, he ran way below par. I was gutted, I was shattered that day, and then he pulled up, and I think I said to you, I just think he's pinched a nerve and a muscle on his back. Let's just tip him straight out. Let's not worry about trying to, you know, reinvent the wheel. Let's just give him a break, and that's what we did. So you just know that he's so honest, Darren. You know, he's not taking the piss out of you, so to speak, or having a lend here, or going to try today because the weather's good, or try tomorrow because he doesn't feel like it. He just tries every time, and I think if we got horses like that, and it's a credit to you for breeding such a tenacious horse. I think they're the best horses. You don't have to breed a Group 1 winner. But if you can breed a tenacious horse, I love them, because you know, he was our Santa Ana Lane on Saturday. He won 750,000 compared to Santa Ana Lane's probably 7 million. But I've never had so much buzz in all my life. And secondly, he's my little Rogue. He's my little Rogue, where he gets out in front, he gives us a heart flutter, lifts all the excitement in our veins, and then he'll hang on. You know, You can't always win, we know that, but everyone in the horse is stuck thick and thin, and they've stuck true. And like I said on Saturday, you give the owners a pat on the back, because you know they've all believed.
Now you got a young team there. What are you working? 20, 25, 30?
Working 10 at Flemington, Darren, and we're working 15 at the farm.
So 25. Now, probably 80% of those have yet to grace the track because you're in no rush to push them early as 2-year-olds. But is there another serious suspect in that pack?
Could be. Let's just go through a couple of horses that I purchased off you, To Be Sure's brother, Cable Bay. I give him a little sprint up this morning. His foot's holding up together, and he just went like a weapon. He was never got out of first gear. I got a Turfontaine 2-year-old that hasn't even got out of first gear yet, and he's just running 25s on the track. I've got a couple of other babies that I bought off you, like a Piero Gelding. He's working the house down at the moment. He's ready to trial. I've got an American Thiero, and some of these I bought off you, and some I've just bred or purchased cheap. But I think a lot of my babies, Darren, I think 90% of them will win races. So if 80% of our stable's unraced, and let's say that might be 15 horses, I reckon out of them 15 horses, there's 13 will win maidens. And that's exciting for the owners.
It's exciting for you.
Exciting for us. But like we are here today, Darren, we're here looking at weanlings, you know, for the future. So I think you've got to plant the seed early. You just can't harvest the crop every year. You know, you're not going to have a crop to harvest if you don't plant the seed. And that's why I'm here today, looking at the horses, taking the afternoon off at Tabilk with my family, spend time with you and Liz, Manning Tree Park, give you some ideas about farming, because I'm a farmer now. So yeah, and I think that's important. And you know, just keep looking at weanlings, and then we'll see what stock's coming through, and then we can maybe get our owners ready. And you know, instead of you selling some of these nice horses outside, we might be able to still secure them at the sales, the ones that I particularly handpick and like.
Out of all those young horses you got there, is there one that you're more excited about, one that's shown a little bit more at this stage than another, or you're not prepared to make that comment?
I really like the Cable Bay. His only issue's been his foot. I've got a Turfontaine there that I paid bugger all for, and he's a little weapon. He's one to watch. Out of the young'uns, the Rich Enough broke in unbelievably well. The Harry Angel broke in unbelievably well. We bought actually a real cheap one off you by So You Think. He's going to take a bit of time. But yeah, look, they're all the babies are coming along good. And we bought another one off you called Sailing High.
Sounds like you bought a heap, but you haven't. You haven't bought enough, really.
It's never enough. It's never enough, because they can go amiss, or they take time.
Now tell me this.
But Sailing High's a nice filly too that you bred. She was by Merchant Navy out of a High Shap mare.
Yeah.
And that High Shap mare, I remember I used to race against Darren Wee, and it was a tough mare, tough to break. And she's the same. She'll just run through a brick wall. And everyone that rides her says, "Oh, geez, boss, this is going to be a nice 3-year-old." So you know, yeah. But at the moment, the Cable Bay's starting to impress me.
Now you've got this operation up near Nagambie at Tabilk. I've been there a number of times, and you spent a lot of money there. You put in you didn't put in a nice track, but you renovated a track. As a trainer, training on a farm, what do you think?
I think it's the future, Darren. You know, having a Flemington base is great, but if we in the next 12 months continue the progress that we've made at Tabilk, I think in the next couple of years we're going to be a strong force to be reckoned with. We did build a track from scratch, that sand track, we did build it from scratch. But what we do need there, we need to put what we call another gallop track in, so that we can start galloping our horses. Now, of course, you know yourself, you can't do all these things unless you start getting winners. And we're talking another $500,000 on tracks. And then we're building a swimming pool there. Everything else we've got, the yards are all going in slowly. Sheds, shelter sheds you've helped us with contacts and so forth, and they're all going in. But the other thing too, it's just a tough time in the whole world at the moment, Darren, and getting staff and we're paying our staff a fortune to come there, and probably paying them 25 to 30% more than what probably the top trainers are paying their staff just to get them there. So that in itself's a cost.
Yep.
So we've had to put our rates up very, very minute this week, which we've made an announcement from 105 to 110, which is a very, very small increase, just to offset some of the losses that we're having. But the biggest win we're going to have is once I've got the operation A1, and we do break in there as well. It's going to be a one-stop shop. We break in, we do the whole lot, we can trial them there, educate them there, and we can take on the world.
Do you think you could have done with Serious Suspect what you've done without that farm operation?
No.
Why not?
Because Serious Suspect is a very quirky horse. He's a very intelligent horse, and he's a horse that you really need to get into his brain box. And I would have been restricted by democracy training on the track, which is fair enough because they run the show, not me. But to Bilk, I close the track for Serious Suspect. He goes out there, he does this thing, he works, then I reopen the track up. So I'm in control of Serious Suspect's destiny. If he's got an issue, a problem, whatever, I can turn off a tractor or put another horse next to him. So I can control his luck and his fate, which is why he's been there for 12 months now, and he's never raced better. He probably hadn't won. I know he hadn't won for a while, but he'd never raced better, Darren.
Yep.
So, and that's in his form. You look at his form, you look at the times he's been running. That's why I was so upbeat going into that race. You know, and then he had that little foot problem. I'm thinking, well, here we go again, no luck here. But you know, rest assured, we stayed up day and night with him, working on his foot, making sure he was going to be 110%, because I wouldn't risk that horse.
No.
You know, we love him as much as you guys do, but no, to answer your question, no, we couldn't have done what we've done unless we had to build.
Well, when you think about trainers that train off properties, and look, there's probably 100 examples, but I think about Lee Friedman with McColby Diva going back. Then you think about Darren Weir with his beach setups and outdoor operations. Danny O'Brien's having a go at Barwon Heads. Lindsay Smith in the West, trained out on a farm on a sand track. So
you've got Anthony Friedman, who's probably dominating at the moment with a small team.
Yep.
Great strike weight, and he's using both facilities too.
So, you know, does it give you longevity? Does it keep weight on the horse? Does it keep the horse happy? Does it let them perform at their best for longer? I think the answer has to be yes.
Yeah, it is, but also, Darren, you know, from the owner's perspective, we can give these horses not 3 or 4 runs, 6 or 7 runs, maybe 8 runs, and capitalise on our investment.
Yeah.
So we've got these horses in, we're charging owners a reasonable amount of money, I believe, to stay in the game. And look, have a look at Sirius. He's earned 180,000
This prep.
Now he'd earned about 88,000, I think, before he won.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the past we may not have been so lucky with him because he would have had 3 runs, maybe 4 runs, and gone back to the paddock. And it was always
we were always trying to get weight on him, weren't we? He was back here for 2 weeks, try and feed him up.
I went to spell him and he doesn't want to spell, so I've gone, well, you're back in training again.
So what are you going to do with him? Because in the media you've said you were undecided, you wanted to have a couple of Milo.
Yeah.
So, you know, here's the Milo, so you've got the answer. What are we doing?
I'm going to, he's been on the walker, so we're just basically adjusting him, so to speak. He's getting a VIP adjustment. He's on the walker every day, gets his feet picked out, greased, dressed, gets his chiropractor work done and so forth. He's in our system, goes out in his day out, and he's just chilled. He's just loving it, right? And we're going to put a saddle on him next Monday. Good luck to the kid that's going to ride him Monday. He'll have fire breathing out of his nostrils. And then that following Saturday will be 3 weeks to the Ori Star, which is what I'm going to target him for. A Group 3, 1200 up the straight. Hey, you know, looks a likely target. Whether we give him a jump out in between, I don't know. I might not even jump him out this time because he always jumps out brilliant. I just wonder whether I leave some of it on the track. But he'll tell me.
So the Ori Star at Flemington in 3 weeks.
6th of August.
Well, Saab, thanks for the insight. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and now we're going to go down the paddock and I'm going to see if I can empty some of that bank account.
Thanks, Darren. Thank you, listeners.